Good afternoon, all. Camelback Trading 2724 and the pitfuturestrading.com coming to you Thursday afternoon, February 20th, and we're looking at the last bunch of days of the market profile on the SPY ETF here on Window Trader, and pretty much a bizarre day, as a day that started exactly like yesterday with the opening and even the opening range, only to have sellers get rejected early, start one time framing up, have a poor high, miss yesterday's POC by pennies, and then to absolutely, it's one thing for the longs to get out when they're not getting much, but this puking was just incredible. As you know, remember we talked about if we took out yesterday's low and filled the gap, we have pretty much a void, right? We have the afternoon pullback low, and then basically we have one daily low and then the bottom of the balance that we're in, right? Price is going to seek its level, but boy, did it seek its level as it blew through the 5-day balance that we were in and got into February 10th day, took out two sets of single prints only to find buyers down there, and then come roaring back and basically one time frame up the entire day, except for L, which I'm going to use as an afternoon pullback low. The trend day still holds. We had two sets of single prints. One was really large. It's not large anymore, but it did hold. Value is lower all day. Volume right now is 70 million, which is better than the 64 million we're averaging. However, not most, but a good part of it, we did 5 million here, 15 million in E period, another 5 in F. So 25 out of the 70 million are done in 3 time frames. Now when that kind of volume started coming into play in F period, I thought maybe, just maybe, we were getting longer term money into this market, right? There was nothing really to set this off. So the way it flushed out, I thought longer term money was coming in, sticky money getting out. You know, why not? We're right at the all-time highs. But the way we recovered the rest of the day only leads me to believe that it was nothing more than just some weak longs really liquidating big time and getting some short selling, jumping on the bandwagon to push it down. So now we're in a 7-day balance where the high of it was yesterday and the low of it is today. Remember, it was kind of a short, it was only $3.50, I believe I said, in that 5-day balance. Well, we stretched it yesterday to the upside and certainly stretched it to the downside and finished basically right in the middle. As far as I'm concerned, had a horrible day, did not trade after D period. I took a short in A period when we got below the opening really quick, made pennies on it. I then took a long in B period. When we got back, I took a long in B period when we came down and couldn't get back below. Remember, B's low today is 338.16. I said it was important for buyers to stay above 338.12. Well, B did, and I got long, had a nice trade. Did it again in C, had a nice trade. Now, D period, I had a very, very small position. I had said I'd get out if we take out C's low, but when D started coming down, I really thought the way that sellers failed, to me, sellers had their chance in A period. I was looking for that, not this. I was not looking for all this, but I was looking for A to take out the low. That's why I got short. Take out the low, fill the gap, and then maybe get some acceleration and test that afternoon pullback low, or at least M's low from the 18th. When it didn't happen in A, and then we one time framed up in B and C, had a poor high, and more importantly, we had value go from lower to overlap into lower. I wasn't sure. I knew we were going to have trouble at the POC and then again at G's high from yesterday because that's where the price spike failed. But the fact that the buyers did this kind of work, I thought we would at least test those two areas. So when we failed to get it in C, when D came down, I thought we would get a liquidating break and then come back up, since I thought sellers had their chance. Well, I should have gotten out. I did not, right? So I was long, added at the opening. Once we got below the opening, I knew I was wrong. And then it flushed out. And by that time, I had a decent sized position and got hurt really bad. Got out of it and then just watched the rest of the day. So, again, I think what we did now, though, you know, it's one thing to repair poor structure because we had a vacuum below us, but we have the same thing now after this recovery. And you'll see that as we go over our destinations for tomorrow. So, for the upside, first one will be our single prints, and it's basically a double distribution day, right? You have this whole day, and you had the first 3.5 time frames up here with the single prints. So 337.26 and get filled at 55. So only 29 cents. It was a buck and change when it started. Then above that, we don't have anything till today's high of 338.64, which is a poor high. So almost a buck and a half higher, our next destination. And then we have 339.08, our all-time high, and 339.38, our overnight all-time high. For the downside, I'm going to use L as an afternoon pullback low. I mean, you could either use that or you could use it for POC. I don't like, not less than 9 wide is not a big deal for me, so I'm going to use it as an afternoon pullback low because from the low, that's the only time we pulled back at all. So 336.10, afternoon pullback low, 85 cents from where we closed. Now, after that, we don't have anything until today's low, 333.68. You talk about a vacuum again. So over $3. Now, obviously, we're going to have a lot more market-generated information tomorrow. But that void, those vacuums, they really have to be looked at because eventually they get repaired. I expect tremendous chop tomorrow morning inside of here because of the range we had. And then below today's low, then we have the rest of those destinations and reference points from the 10th. I'll give them to you since we haven't had them in a while. 333.32, 9 wide. 333.02 afternoon pullback low from that day. And then the other set of single prints, 332.87 get filled at 79. Then 332.74 lowest accepted price from that day. And then 331.19, which is a weekly low. So it shows you there was a tremendous amount of buyers down at that level. So it doesn't surprise me that it stopped. We found buyers in there. However, like I said, if this is real, longer term, sticky money coming in, they don't care about that. That's number one. And number two, you're not going to just get basically a V-shaped recovery if that's real long-term selling. So to me, all this was long liquidation. We've now created a 7-day balance, which was stretched on the upside yesterday to the downside today. So I'd expect some mighty big chop inside of here tomorrow. And then chart-wise, monthly, no damage done whatsoever. One time framing up. This is the 4th month. Trend lines more than healthy with the gap. Weekly. Still one time framing up 3 weeks. Yes, we would like to close above last week's high, but you still one time framing up. Got below the trend line again on the weekly and just back above it. So you're going to be battling that trend line. And then on the daily, right, we had the balance, gapped higher out of it yesterday. Today we take it all back and more. The daily's a little more precarious on the trend line. It's right below it. So a little more precarious, but I'm going to guess we're going to have some pretty good chop inside this 7-day balance, although the whole balance is yesterday and today, but I'm going to encompass all 7 days. You should get some really good chop in there tomorrow. I hope you had a good day trading. Have a great night, and we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.